Oh yes, we back for another video today because Bungie decided they were going to drop all the articles in one day. So today, it's your boy IK, the Infinite King, and we're taking a look at a marathon article today talking about Season 2 combat tuning. So go ahead, grab another snack, grab a cold one, grab the loved one. Let's take a look at this article. Season 2 combat tuning preview from the Marathon dev team. Today we wanted to give you a clear look at the kind of work taking shape for Season 2's combat sandbox. Learn more about Season 2, including Nightmarsh, the new runner shell Sentinel, and the Cradle here. So we did a video on the previous article that they did, which I'm pretty sure this is, yeah. So you can go ahead and take a look at that video if you want to learn more about Season 2. But Season 2 gives us a chance to keep building on the parts of Marathon that players are already connecting with, while also making the overall combat experience clearer, more expressive, and more rewarding to learn over time. The new season gives us a chance to take a holistic look at everything in the game beyond isolated changes. It's about how fights come together as a whole, how your weapons feel in their intended role, how your build changes the decisions you make, how new tools can help you survive when things get hectic, and how your runner shell's kit can embody more identity from one encounter to the next. We're focusing on weapons, mods, build crafting, equipment, survival, runner shells, implants, and the sandbox as a whole in Season 2. Across all these areas, the goal is the same. We want your choices to feel more intentional, we want to make engaging with our deep systems easier, and we want to make more parts of your loadout to feel that they truly matter once you're Tau Ceti side. Let's get into it. Weapons and sandbox. Let's start with the loud part. For the launch of Season 2, we are focusing on making weapons easier to use and reinforcing their intended roles. We want weapons to be clear in their purpose and more distinct from one another when you're both using them and fighting against them. That work includes broader updates to ammo economy, time to kill, curious about that, and range identities so that close range tools stay dangerous up close, mid-range options better hold their ground, they're probably gonna take a pass at the bully, and weapon roles are easier to understand from one fight to the next. Stupid freaking tickers. Season 2 also brings a couple of new I know what I said. Season 2 also brings a couple of new weapons into that conversation. Some longtime keen-eyed Marathons fans may have noticed our new weapon might be a little familiar. Coming in Season 2, the KKV-9SD is a pistol frame SMG with an integrated suppressor and is a perfect companion for fighting the terrors on Nightmarsh. This means it takes pistol optic and pistol magazine mods as well as chips. It is the fastest fire rate we've ever shipped on a weapon and excels at close range combat, specifically moving down eager shotgun rushers. Its prestige mod, Flesh It Drum, adds sustainability by healing you when you break a hostile shield. That'll be really good for 1v1s. Our second weapon for Season 2 is the D54 Battle Pistol, which is a fully automatic 3-round burst handgun. The Battle Pistol is designed to flex between pistol and magnum archetypes and to have advantage in 1v1 duels. It is an excellent companion when used with other hard-hitting archetypes. Don't waste time reloading your sniper or shotgun, swap to the D54 Battle Pistol and you're good to go. Its prestige mod, the Daredevil stock, takes advantage of new folding stock mod archetypes. While folded, the enemy defeats build up to 2 stacks, and when unfolded, the D54 Battle Pistol's fire is converted into a super burst of 9 rounds, which can be fired as many times as you have stacks. More on the new folding stock below. Interesting. So some things are being implemented from Destiny 2 as far as perks and stacks. So you can build up stacks and then you get a buff to the weapon. So curious to see what that's going to look like. The broader hope here is simple. We want weapon choices to feel more deliberate, and we want you to be able to feel what makes a weapon special in a way that breaks down friction and lets you drive into the fight you most want to take. So while we won't go through every weapon change here, look out for the full patch notes on release. Let's start with the monster in the room. Misriah 2442. While it's easy to say Misriah rose up in the wake of the Worcester changes, the truth is it was always strong and popular option, and it ended up on our radar long before it continued dominance. The biggest change we're making here isn't to the Misriah itself, rather we are removing the rate of fire bonuses from Slick Mad magazine mods altogether. While it was an interesting experiment since the Misriah is the only weapon to take those mobs, it isn't sustainable. The idea is Misriah's main weakness was its slow fire rate, allowing players to counter Misriah by correctly spacing and attacking in between shots. Slick Mag presented an opportunity to shore up that weakness, but it's clear that it was pushing the weapon and its prestige mod too far out of band. So to that end, we've made the following suite of changes. Misriah 2442, increased pellet spread and hip fire by 10%, increased pellet spread while aiming down sights by 5%, increased base rate of fire from 58 rounds per minute to 72. This is to compensate for the removal of increased fire rate stats previously granted by Slick Mag magazine mod family. Rebased magazine stats so that now every mag will result in at least +1 round in the magazine. Base magazine size remains at 4 and max magazine size remains at 10. Reduce base damage fall off start from 11 meters to 10. Increase max damage fall off start from 15 meters to 16. Okay. So overall, I guess, I mean, it's more of a balance. I wouldn't say a nerf, but I would say a better rebalancing overall. I mean, you're addressing the issue with the rate of fire, and you're putting it a little bit more in band with another, other shotguns, so that it's not as overpowered. So I'm cool with that. Full auto selector prestige mod. This mod had static gameplay and build crafting experiences, so to improve these, we've made the following changes. Rate of fire increase granted from full auto selector reduced from 150 RPM to 90 RPM. Added plus 50 ADS speed and plus 50 ADS accuracy. Okay. While firing from the hip, Misriah will fire full auto, have an additional 10% pellet spread increase, and massively increase stability. Oh man, it's like Chaperone from D2. While aiming down sights, Misriah has massively increased range and much tighter pellet spread, but does not fire full auto. Interesting. So the Prestige version mod for Misriah gives you all these advantages. The added 50 ADS and 50 ADS accuracy and speed sounds nuts. While we believe these changes will allow for more interesting spatial plays with the Prestige mod, utilizing the different firing modes based on proximity to enemies while also tying in more build crafting potential, you can focus on increasing the potency of either the hip fire mode or the ADS mode. Let's talk about the other end of the spectrum. While the Misriah is a popular weapon, the Overrun and the CE tactical sidearm were less popular options. I like the Overrun. First up, the Overrun, we wanted to keep it simple to start, but this weapon is only a couple of value changes away from running over the other rifles. But we agree it still needs a little bit of juice. So for Season 2's launch, we made the following changes. Overrun. Reduced horizontal and vertical recoil for base weapon. Thank you. Yeah, that it does have a little bit of a kickback, resulting in more control at lower rarity tiers. Horizontal recoil reduced by 50%. Vertical recoil reduced by 12%. All right. The high-level superior Overrun is still performing pretty admirably against other rifles, so our focus was to make running a lower tier Overrun in a budget build or a sponsor kit less painful. Go ahead, enjoy these SIAC sponsored kits. Thank you. For the CE tactical sidearm, this weapon was always tuned in a way that if you built into it, you were hitting headshots, you find plenty of success, but it's clear that we weren't hitting that mark. Even at fully build crafted, the CE tactical sidearm is just not attractive enough to secure a warm seat in your vault. In Season 2, you can expect the following changes. CE tactical sidearm. Increase the speed at which the weapon's recoil settles when firing by 15%. Oh, okay, nice. Reduce ADS accuracy error multiplier by roughly 50%. Rebased aim assist and magnetism min and max fall off distances. Aim assist. Minimum distance increase from 11 meters to 14 meters at base range stat and from 14 to 22 meters at maximum range stat. Oh, wow. Maximum distance increase from 22 to 25 meters at base range stat and from 21 to 29 meters at maximum range stat. Magnetism. Minimum distance increase from 15 meters to 18 meters at base range stat and from 18.6 meters to 29.6 meters at maximum range stat. Maximum distance increase from 25 meters to 26 meters at base and from 24.8 meters to 39 at max range stat. So getting stickier for sure. Rebased aim assist cone size stats. Increased aim assist cone size at base aim assist stat by 33. Damn. Increased aim assist cone size at max aim assist stat by 16. Rebased hip fire and ADS projectile accuracy stats to compensate. In general, this means an increase in projectile error up to account for the increased aim assist cone size. Okay. Reduce crouch accuracy bonus at max crouch accuracy stat by 117%. Wow. Reduce moving accuracy bonus at minimum moving accuracy stat by 22. Increase moving accuracy bonus at max moving accuracy stat by 50%. There's a handful of more weapon-specific tunings happening at the launch of Season 2, but these are some of the big headliners. Expect more changes in the full patches on June 2nd. All right, mods and build crafting. A lot of combat starts before the first shot. Careful preparation and build crafting are key to survival on Tau Ceti 4. Season 2 was a chance to reflect on a lot of the mod stories for weapons, and we think about how we can make choices more meaningful and how mods can do more than just push stats up or down. For Season 2, we're investing heavily in a few key areas for mods. First, we're adding 2 new families of mods and 8 new families of chips. We also took heavy balance passes on every magazine and every optic mod. There goes thermals. There's a lot to dive into, far more than we could detail in this article, so look for the full scope of every change coming to the mods in the full patch notes. That gonna be thick. All right, let's talk about the 2 new mod families. First up, we have folding stocks. Folding stocks are a new mod family that will first be present on the new KKV and D54 battle pistol weapons. They are similar to shield mods for the LMGs in that they provide a unique gameplay altering action. When equipped, folding stocks are initially collapsed, and in this mode they provide boosts to stats like hipfire accuracy and movement speed with that weapon. You can then press your alternate weapon action input to unfold the stock, trading the hipfire focus bonuses for boosted ADS accuracy and range. We really love how these mods provide options for different playstyles on a single weapon and the ability to change strategies on the fly during combat. Interesting. I'm curious to see. This might sound silly, but I wonder how long it's going to take to actually implement the change of the 2 firing modes based on the mod. Because sometimes if you're in the middle of a gunfight and you need to switch between one unfolded to folded and vice versa, sometimes even just the animation of switching modes can knock you out. So you pick your spots, people. Pick your spots. Second, we're adding an entirely new archetype of optic mods in the dark sight scopes. Naturally, with the debut of Nightmarch, we want to make sure that you have all the tools necessary for precision execution in a dark and dangerous place. Every archetype of weapon will receive their own dark sight scope, and they come in 2 different rarities, Deluxe and Superior. All dark sight scopes will operate similarly. They are a full screen vignette when aimed down sights, similar to how sniper optics already work, but for every weapon. Secondly, while ADS, you can press the toggle optic input to activate the night vision effect and light up the world around them. The night vision effect is wider and covers more distance with the superior version. Our goal is for the unique gameplay to be helpful not only on Nightmarch, but across the rest of the game as well. So that'll be interesting to see for areas like Cryo, the underground areas of like Dire Marsh, the red area, which I call the red. Areas like that. So I think that's near AI uplink. But yeah, I'm curious to see how these scopes are going to change. I'm really excited to see. Weapon chips are the backbone of weapon build crafting. They are the software upgrades that make your weapon do things that seem almost impossible. And on the topic of chips, we do have a bit of housekeeping to do. Season 2, we are looking to rotate out a couple of chip families that were not meeting the bar for quality and performance on both ends of the spectrum. Stack Overflow rotated all rarities out of the loot pool for Season 2. Oh shit. Optimal Prime rotated all rarities out of the loot pool for Season 2. Stack Overflow was overperforming on certain weapons and in other cases was performing wildly below the bar. So we're taking this one back to the lab for now. Optimal Prime, while potentially interesting from a build crafting standpoint, just did not find the niche we were looking and hoping for. So that too will take a seat on the bench. But fear not. 8 new chip families are rotating in for their time in the sun. We won't spoil everything here, but here's a couple of highlights. Alarmist, all rarities. After aiming down sights for a brief duration, projectile impacts create a terrifying scan drone alert. We heard you like ornithologists, but we agree it's weird to hear birds on Cryo. Maybe this will help. All right, cool. So instead of birds, we're going to be getting alarms. That's nice. Scrapyard, all rarities. Defeating hostiles with this weapon will have a chance to spawn depleted health items or standard materials. That's the one I'm looking forward to, Scrapyard. And Brain Freeze, actually. Precision downs or kills with this weapon create a small explosion that spreads frost to nearby hostiles. That AoE, y'all like to stay bunched up together. Y'all about to get clipped. But already existing chips also had some changes too. Again, there's too many to go through here, but here's a couple of previews. Bounty Hunter, increase the amount of credits rewarded per UESC kill. Standard, 10 credits increase to 25. Enhanced, 15 goes up to 50. Damn. Deluxe, 20 goes up to 75. Superior, 25 goes up to 100. Fix an issue where Bounty Hunter wasn't awarding credits upon killing UESC scan drones. Cloudborne, redesigned perk benefits entirely. While in smoke, this weapon passively has increased ability, accuracy, handling, and movement speed. Previously, the benefit was overflowing the magazine on reloading while in smoke. Yeah, this is a much better change to that. All right, lastly for mods, we wanted to touch on optics and magazine mods. Every optic and magazine mod in the game has a full stat balance pass. These changes were largely to sand down some outliers while also trying to make more interesting choices for all the weapons that use any of the given family of optic or magazine, but there are a couple of big important changes to note. Starting in Season 2, there will be no thermal optic option for snipers only. Okay, so just for snipers. Even as we brought in their range, snipers with thermals were just overperforming. We don't view this as a permanent benching, but we are taking the time to cook on some longer gestating changes for how thermals work all up. And until that time, we decided that it was better to pull this ripcord now. Okay. Starting in Season 2, one superior magazine mod in every family will come with the new Vector Rounds perk on it by default. Vector Rounds is a new perk designed as an information tool that can help you mark space, track enemy movement, and create visibility in dark corners. After aiming down sights for a short duration, the next projectile impact will create a revealing pulse similar to the dark side effect. Enemies caught in this detonation will be highlighted for a brief duration. That with Recon, if you get a team with Recon, Sentinel, and Vector Rounds, you are. Let me light up the sky, light it up for you. We're extremely eager to see how build crafting is shaken up in Season 2. For the complete breakdown, the full patch notes will have you covered. Equipment and survival. Weapons aren't the only tools at your disposal to survive out there during a run. Equipment plays a vital role in the combat sandbox and is often what players use to turn the tide of a fight. Though perhaps some equipment items were a little too strong in Season 1. Before we get into the 3 new pieces of equipment you can expect to unleash next season, we want to take the opportunity to outline a few changes coming to equipment at the start of Season 2. Grenade ready animations extended by 2.2 seconds. The ready animation plays when a grenade is pulled out and primed. The throw after the button has been released is unchanged. We feel this change preserves the responsiveness and joy of throwing a grenade, but has a measurable effect on how many grenades can be thrown in rapid succession. The extra time also allowed us to polish the ready animations and make them a little more expressive. Yeah, that was a really big thing. People were essentially grenade spamming, especially in areas like cryo, high level play, end game map. You basically just, and even in other maps as well, I gotta say, people were just spamming grenades left and right. There was a fight we got into in perimeter in the basement where the orange tubes are and everything, and it was just nade, grenade. And it's like, oh, all right, we get it. Even with the changes to how many you could carry. Frag grenade, reduced max damage by 15%, going down from 135 to 115. Heat grenade, reduced damage by 50%, going from 40 to 20. Signal jammer, visual and detection jamming will temporarily flicker off when a player performs action, uses abilities, shoots their weapon, or takes damage. No longer blocks detection by early warning system, Prestige Recon Core. No longer blocks detection by Vital Intel, Strider M1T Prestige Optic Mod. So I'm just going to call it MITA multi-tool. The scout rifle in this game has a optic mod, and it is no longer blocked. Signal jammer will no longer block you from this specific mod on that weapon. So if you do have this weapon, you got that mod, you can still see people with signal jammer. Signal jammers in Season 1 felt like a default requirement for any engagement because they offered a flat, guaranteed advantage whether you were repositioning for an ambush or sprinting directly into combat. We hope this change will make signal jammers reward tactical movement and stealth while being less effective during a firefight. With that housekeeping out of the way, let's talk about the new stuff. First up, we have the Frost Mine. The Frost Mine is a placeable piece of equipment similar to a claymore. It detonates when an enemy is nearby, and instead of a high damage conical blast like the claymore, it explodes in a spherical blast, dealing moderate damage but also spreading the frost debuff to any enemy caught in it. Stay warm out there. Second, we have the Vector Grenade. This grenade's primary purpose is not damage but rather information. When a Vector Grenade detonates, it creates a field of revealing pulses that linger in the world for a short time, highlighting spaces in a large area and any enemies inside its radius. This grenade is an essential companion in Night Marsh and other hard-to-see places. Lastly, we're adding signal flares in 3 colors. Signal flares come in red, green, and blue varieties, and they each have a different lens flare shape. These don't focus on damage but linger in the world, providing some amount of light. We view these as a communication tool for non-verbal runners. Okay, maybe in the heat of a fight, green flares are thrown and a new alliance is formed. Maybe you come across a blue flare that marks a piece of loot on the ground left by a benevolent runner. The choice is in your hands. Yeah, people are just not as friendly in marathons, so they probably just gonna be trapping everybody left and right. It's like, oh yeah, no, go ahead. Left a little blue flare for you. You know what I'm saying? And then you get sniped off. Runners and implants. Your biosynthetic shell is the foundation that defines your playstyle. In Season 2, we're taking the first step of expanding our roster to give you more ways to explore and experience our perilous alien world. Meet Sentinel. This shell is a defensive specialist made for carving out pockets of space within the battlefield and securing them with clever traps and lethal force. Sentinel's kit is built around area control and adaptability under pressure. It brings a few fresh new tools to the battlefield. Defender system, prime ability. Deploy a defensive platform that harmlessly neutralizes incoming explosives. You and your allies also gain increased weapon stability and reload speed when standing near the device. And as always, bear in mind that it's got a limited number of projectiles to fire. Be sure to keep a steady eye out. Snare mine, tactical ability. Toss a proximity triggered mine which detonates into several immobilizing submunitions when enemies get too close. Prey tracker, trait ability. Activate motion tracking systems in your HUD that allow you to see moving enemies on radar with a conical zone and conical zone in front of you. Castle doctrine, passive. You ready and reload SMGs, pistols, and shotguns more quickly based on the number of nearby hostiles. When you take splash damage, your hardware, firewall, and self-repair speed are increased for a short time. Sentinel seems crazy, I ain't gonna lie. Like in utility and just in action, Sentinel seems freaking sick. Use your prey tracker to gather real-time information about enemy positions as they move, allowing you to set up the perfect ambush or hunt down a fleeing assassin. Specifically assassins. Use your snare mines to stop a shotgun rushing destroyer in their tracks or toss one under a UESC dropship for some immediate crowd control. When things get ugly, bunker down by deploying a defender system to neutralize an incoming rocket drone missile barrage and whip out your KKV or Misriah to give a warm welcome to any unwanted visitors. We're also adding a full suite of 10 Sentinel-specific runner cores across the various rarity tiers. Here's a small taste. Reversal, enhanced. Defeating an immobilized target heals you over time. Great for adding some sustain to your loadout if you're low on medical consumables and don't have a triage in your crew. Damn. Wellness Beacon Deluxe. While standing near your defender system, you and your allies use medical items more quickly, useful for more support-focused playstyles where you want to keep your allies in the fight longer. Damn, cryo's gonna be hell. Eminent Domain. Prestige. Runner grenades neutralized by your defender system fall to the floor and become lootable. The ultimate tool for countering throwable spam. Literally, your opponent grenades back at them. Wow. We cannot wait to see how Sentinel shakes up the meta and what kinds of devious or dastardly or hilarious plays you get up to. Damn. I'm excited. I'm really excited to use Sentinel because Sentinel is like an all-rounder, I feel like. I do also wonder if they're going to take a pass at any of the other runner shells because Sentinel's got a lot of tools in its kit. So, yeah. Implants. Now, let's talk about implants. Initially, our plan was to give cores and implants unique identities by focusing cores on powerful runner-specific perks and implants on interesting packages of stat buffs. Our early playtesting led us to add random perks to implants in addition to the stats to help create more variety in the build crafting game. These proved very effective at expanding the depth of different playstyles available and quickly became the primary element driving choice around implants. However, our implementation in Season 1 led to a number of problems. The system is challenging to use because the item names reflect the stat package and not what an implant's perk is. Information about what the perk does is buried in the tooltip, and you can't look at an item in a container or on the floor and intuitively understand exactly what it does. In Season 2, we're taking significant steps to address these issues by reworking how implants are structured. Implants will be primarily focused on perks, with runner stats being a secondary element. Every implant now grants a single fixed perk, which is reflected directly in the item name and has a fixed stat package. As an example, you'll be able to loot a Tox Injector's head implant, which gives you a bonus to your firewall, heat capacity, and fall resistance, or a Triage Cloaking Device torso implant, which grants revive speed, tactical recovery, and hardware. Nice, so more identity between the implants. With this rework, you'll be able to collect all the same perks you could in Season 1, even the unique perks from Prestige tier implants if you're lucky, plus 8 brand new ones we've added in Season 2, such as Going Dark, which makes you invisible while using healing consumables. Certain implants will only drop at higher rarities, which you'll need to delve into more challenging zones to find, or you can just acquire them from your fellow runners. One of the things I love about this game, you can drop stuff. You can drop stuff and give it to whoever's on your team. I play a lot of Destiny, so I apologize I keep referencing it, but I wish so much that they had a system like that in Destiny 2 where you could just drop your item or like a gun or something and give it to your fellow player. All right. One last note is that this is not the final form. Not my final form. It's not the final form of implants. At a glance, readability of the implant icons themselves, the next thing on our radar, and we're cooking up some more changes here that we're excited to roll out in the future. All right, so I know people were kind of bitching about this too. The implant icons at first, I had a hard time personally, you know, reading the actual icon language of them. The head, torso, and legs were highlighted, but they all had the same symbol on them, so it was a little hard. And then they changed it to the, you know, a little bit later in the season, and people were complaining about that too. They didn't seem to like that. I did, but we'll see what they come up with in season 2. Finally, we wanted to touch briefly on the rest of our changes for runner shells. Our focus this season has largely been on bug fixing and quality of life updates, such as improvements to the mantle system, thank you, to make climbing up rough terrain more consistent, making movement smoother, and reducing instances of desync, and addressing death box spawning to prevent them from ending up in inaccessible areas. One notable tuning change is that we're reducing how much the prime and tactical recovery stats accelerate the cooldown of runner abilities at 100 stat to make sure that we're preserving opportunities for counterplay and high-level engagements. Be on the lookout for our full patch notes page for the complete details on the changes and additional developer notes. Out with a bang. That's a quick rundown of what's to come in Season 2, so you can be better prepared to dive right in on June 2nd. Reminder that there's an open play week from June 2nd to June 9th, where the full game will be available on Steam, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X and S. Some of it is about refining the sandbox, some of it is about adding new gear and new options, some of it is about making the dark more playable while keeping its danger alive and well. And some of it is about making sure that when you open your loadout, the choices in front of you feel thoughtful, useful, and worth exploring. Our hope is that these changes make combat feel sharper, build choices feel more expressive, and every run feels like it gives you a little bit more room to learn, adapt, and find a style that clicks for you. As these changes get into your hands, your feedback is going to matter a lot. We'll be paying close attention to the places you already talked to us, especially our official Discord, Steam discussions, Reddit, and our Marathon Dev Team social channels on Twitter and Blue Sky. We want to hear what is landing, what might feel off, what surprises you, and what is not doing the job it should. Happy hunting. All right, cool. So a little bit of adjustments to implants. We got Sentinel coming through, some equipment changes, a little bit of changes to grenades. And we got different weapons that are going to be coming in with Season 2 as well. I'm excited about that. I'm excited about vector rounds. And just kind of like navigating the darker areas and those different abilities that we might get to navigate all that stuff. So all in all, pretty good stuff. I'm excited for Season 2. Once again, the free-to-play week is going to be between June 2nd and June 9th. To homies that play Destiny 2 and Marathon, this will be a good chance to kind of get in your runs in Marathon before the June 9th update for Destiny 2. And that'll be a good time to then switch over to Destiny 2 and then take a look at what's happening there, because there's a lot of good stuff that's happening there. I have a couple of videos on it, so please check those out. And just in general, I'm really excited about overall the changes that we're getting with Season 2. I still am very curious about the PvE content that's going to be coming, but in general, Sentinel looks badass. I'm really excited, and as a more utility-based character, I'm really excited to see like all the different tools that we can use with Sentinel. So, I mean, it's looking good. We eating. So if you do enjoy Marathon, then you can come back to my videos and to learn more. Anytime there's going to be a new article, I'll try to get that video up as soon as possible. So stick with me, your boy IK, the Infinite King, for more information on that. I also do videos on Destiny 2, and there's going to be more videos and streams coming in the future. So keep an eye out for that. But for right now, everybody, thank you guys so much for watching. Drop a comment, drop a like, subscribe to your boy. And I got more information coming in the future, so be ready for that. As always, everybody, tell somebody that you care about that you love them. Because tomorrow ain't guaranteed, but today can be hype. Later, y'all. See y'all next time. Peace.